everyone. Hello, hello. Today is Wednesday, October 15th. Not sure what day of the week you will get this, but we have a very special guest with us today. DegenPing. Some of you may know him as the Oracle. And of course, my favorite Voltard, Marty, the One Man Party. What's up, Ping? It's been a while.
Hey, Cozy, how's it going, man? I missed you for a while.
I miss you too. I gotta next time I'm traveling around a bit, I'll have to find out where you're at in the world and come visit you.
Yeah, just ping me. You're my telegram.
Last time I saw you was good. I really enjoyed my time seeing you.
Yeah, likewise.
Marty, you're doing a little world traveling right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've
You-
been bouncing around. Brazil, Europe, the good old America, doing some road trips, doing some train trips, seeing the world, taking the wife out.
Yeah, I need to get. I'm not gonna be traveling as hard as I was before, but I definitely need to. I've got the itch. I'll take the whole fam with me this time. The only place they had the option to go with me just about everywhere, but when you have kids in school, it's kind of hard to rip them out of school once a month to go on a week trip. But they did come with me to France, what, 2 years ago, I think, when we went for. I'm trying to think what conference was there at the time in Paris, but they
CC.
came. It might have been ECC. They came with me there to Paris, and then afterwards we just stayed there for the month. Not in Paris, we just stayed in France for the month and just took trains and traveled around to different cities, and it was really nice.
Well, Ping, thanks for coming on. For people who don't know you, aka Mr. Don't Know, do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself and where your journey kind of started on Twitter?
Yeah, so basically, I think I started my Twitter around 2020 when the first summer started. And yeah, I think I joined because of everyone else who thought hipster school was like, let's all make a Twitter. And I was like, yeah, why not?
I know your Synthetics Bowl, but this is not sponsored by Synthetics. I made a joke on Twitter that it was sponsored by Synthetics, and people thought I was serious. But do you want to go a little bit into depth of your are you a crypto trader only? Are you a macro trader? Are you a futures trader, options trader, perps trader? You want to go into a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I have no TradFi background. You know, I've been a businessman for 7 years, straight out of college. Crypto is the only financial market that I know. Uh, I trade spot and options, not really spot, unless it's like synthetics. Um, but yeah, mostly options.
Of your trading?
And hold BTC, of course.
Ooh,
Yeah, whole coiners. For the options, are you mainly speculating, doing outright calls or puts? Are you doing various call spreads? You're doing different multi-leg kind of strategies, or you're just
Yeah, keep it simple. You know, for me, like, options are a way to express my intention, my view on the market. So I'm always naked, directional. I have no hedges, and I don't believe in hedging. So yeah, I'm basically an
I love it. I love it. Aping with options. If you're buying calls, let's just keep it simple. If you're buying calls and paying premium, that's the max you can lose. So it's not like you're sitting there on a dated futures or a purse position paying funding and just burning. You are paying theta on the options though. Does that ever come back to sting you?
sometimes, but you know, options are lottery tickets, right? So it is what it is.
Ping, you're gonna make people start aping directional options thinking they can make 10,000% returns every single day.
And Marty, you know, thanks to you, I did that earlier this year.
Uh, which one? Which one did you?
I think it was the tweet where you're like, 11 of the last 12 ETH options, something, something, lost money. And I just said, thanks, I'll just buy some ETH calls. And that was at 1800.
did you do? Oh yeah, yeah. If you sold like I think it's 10 Delta calls,
Yeah.
you won out of 24 months, you only lost 2 months or something. But those two losing months, you got absolutely hosed and rinsed for all of your winnings for the past 2 years. Yeah, yeah, right around 2K. When price moves that much, I mean, we had a huge run into December with the Trump administration coming into power in January. In December, we had all this hype, and then we kind of just trickled down into 1800 on ETH, and you had I think it was the tariffs, like the original tariffs going back and forth in April. Since you're not holding spot mostly, you're not holding that big down draw. Are you just waiting for an exact time? Are you just waiting for me to tweet to buy calls, or you're always kind of buying calls, like once a month, once every 2 weeks?
Well, if the intention is there, I'm always buying, right? If the intention is not there, then there's nothing to do, right?
Sure, but options can be intimidating for people to look at, and that order book can be overly complicated when it doesn't necessarily have to be. I guess without spilling too much alpha, what kind of options are you looking at? Let's say on those 1800 on that 1800 play. It's in free fall. It's been in free fall for the last month. Are you buying in the money, at the money, or super out the money? I think that would be interesting.
Yeah, always super out the money. I mean, minimum 20%. As I said, options are lottery tickets, a way to express my intention in the market. And my intention is that, crypto always goes higher than you expect and always goes lower than you expect, right? So what's the point of buying in the money or close to the money? You want to be betting big, no? You lose, you lose. You win, you win. It is what it is.
To know for I like that. I like that. You can get outsized returns from excessive moves on out the money options, but I'm surprised you're only betting directionally with outright calls or outright puts. It would be good to get you doing some crazy butterflies around, some whole number theories and things.
Oh, I do. I do like to play with exotics. I do Urgos. So I think I got paid out 17 to 1 on an Urgo earlier this year. Quite fun. Um, Basically, I think it was an ETH wing on the same trade that we talked about earlier. And yeah,
It's like this. I don't know. An Urco is a Euro reverse knockout option. It's not an option that's. I guess that leads us into it. It's not an option you can buy on an exchange, but I assuming you're getting that OTC.
it's pretty for people that. Yeah, mostly OTC decks.
You want to go a little bit into your trading journey? Are you a toxic taker? It sounds like we're on the other side of some trades, Ping.
Uh, no, all my trades are with love, man. Like, no, it's all about love. I love that. So I trade with love. So when I lose, it's love. When I win, it's love.
You want to go a little bit into your spiritual journey. You mentioned that you were a monk right out of college for the last 7 or 8 years, you had mentioned. What brought you to that? And I mean, clearly it's helped with your trading, but if you could sprinkle some alpha on that, that would.
Yeah. Yeah, so my first year in college, I was at a liberal arts school, and I discovered meditation through an extracurricular class. I had this great teacher, and my first class experienced a kind of breakthrough where I felt this immense love for all beings in the universe. And I started meditating every day after that. So after college, most of my peers go to like investment banks, start businesses or startups, or just like get a job. But I found a meditation master that told me, why don't you spend a year in Korea in a monastery. And I was like, that sounds fucking great. So, yeah, that's where I went. And a year became 7.
Be great.
Wow. You know, it wasn't until this year that I started on my quest for, I call it just peace, like finding peace and everything, and trying to not make decisions out of emotion. And it's changed my life, like integrating meditation every day. It's part of my daily schedule now. And I remember when I first started how hard it was to clear my mind of everything because I was someone that felt like I needed to smoke to make my mind settle. And if I didn't have that, then I wasn't able to think clearly. And really it was the other way around. It was like doing that was just numbing my mind from thinking of anything. And then those thoughts would come back and my brain would be fogged again. And when I started meditating every day, I started not only like feeling more clear, thinking more clearly, having more energy, being able to find like peace and kind of everything. And now since doing that, I can look back and see how a much better track my life has been on.
That's great to hear, man.
Everyone should do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's interesting. Finding peace is key in this market. You know, you can't wake up and bet up and down, click red and green every single day without some sort of peace. I'm not exactly sure how people are living in New York and are surviving. Um, to me, that sounds like an absolute hell.
New York is not a joyful place.
I agree right with you. I'm right there with you. There's nothing good about being in any sort of concrete jungle.
I am from New York, though, so
Sorry to hear that.
just to let you know.
People need some land, some peace, some ocean to, especially in this profession, right? When you're sitting there swinging, I don't know, UP&L millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or even $10 to some people is a lot of money. You can't just sit there and watch the screen all day. You have to go outside. Outside of trading, what do you do to find peace, or outside of your spiritual journey? What does that look like? How are you finding peace?
Well, as most know, my hobby is drinking tea. I collect pour tea. So yeah, I drink tea every day. And I think everyone knows
Tell me about this porter tea. I actually had never heard of it until
that. So yeah, so puer is the king of teas. So all tea comes from the same tree, like real tea. I forgot the name of the tree, but puer is like a form of black tea that's fermented in a specific way, and it's aged similar to wine. And the older it is, the more expensive it is, and the better it is. And the reason it's so good is because through the fermentation process over the years, it develops all these amino acids that are actually good for you. Actually, like 20-year-old puer has like 200 different amino acids in addition to caffeine and L-theanine. So, and some of these amino acids are known to be anti-carcinogenic and really, really good for the body. And what's for sure is that when you drink puer, you have better body circulation, blood circulation. So for me, it helps me clear my mind and clear my body as well.
you started talking. It's
What
very
does a bag
interesting.
of that go for? I'm
I
curious
also
what a.
quit. I quit all coffee and started just drinking tea, like a few months ago as well. Not that I think it's necessarily bad. It's just that it was one of the things that I felt was causing additional anxiety and unclarity because of how much I was drinking. So I was like, okay, I still need something to give me my morning kind of energy after I stretch and meditate and stuff. So I switched to tea, and now I've been on my tea kick for the last like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, so the price of puer ranges vastly. Like young puer can be as cheap as like $100 a cake. a cake is 356 grams, which lasts you maybe a month if you drink by yourself. The tea I buy are quite old, so I buy tea like that was, you know, that's from the 80s, 1980s. I have some rare tea from the 60s. And these teas, depending on the recipe and the brand, are quite expensive. Like this year, I bought 200 kilos of 1980s, what we call 동경호 in Korean, and for 100 grams, it's 3 grand, $3,000, and I bought 200 kilos of that. Yeah, so I spend a lot of money on this stuff.
I need you to be my plug. I need the link.
Yeah, never buy tea online. You need to deal with that.
Yeah, that's why I need someone. I've seen links online, but I was like, no.
How do you even store that much tea?
So actually, my dealer stores it for me in their storehouse. I have a few storage houses in South Korea, one in New York, and a few other places. Just like wine, you need to control the humidity, you need to control the temp, and you need to be careful. Yeah.
Tea.
I actually, for my first go around when I was still in the monastery, I was trying to store my own tea, and basically fucked up and destroyed like 7 figures worth of tea because I didn't store it properly. So I learned my lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like while others are getting liquidated, you're burning 7 figs of
Yeah. It was not a good time.
tea. You have any superstitions or rituals before you go through and rinse the OTC desks?
Well, I don't know if I rinse out the OTC desks. They're my friends, you know. We do it together. We're a team. Basically, the don't know mind. What the don't know mind is letting go of the ego, letting go of what you think you know, certainty, surrendering to the beginner's mind. When you think that the market's going to go one direction, that's where they trap you. So it's becoming open to what's happening in the present moment. So that's my process. And when I always say don't know, it's not really the fact that I don't know, it's actually expressing this intention. Not to just myself, but to the world. And my superstition is the universe is just energy. You know, we're all just beings of energy. So what you give out is what you get. It's how you harness this. And when your intentions are good, I always believe the results will be good. So my way of trading is kind of harnessing that energy to be like a form of purpose where I'm not just doing this to make money because I'm greedy or have a desire to like be richer. It's more like, oh, I have conviction and faith in this trade, and with the results of this trade, I would do this or that, but also I'm just detached from the results of the trade, basically.
No, you have to trade to keep up that expensive tea habit. You have to rinse the market makers to keep the tea fund going. You should launch a tea fund, Ping's tea fund.
I think I have enough tea to last me 5 lifetimes.
Oh, that's crazy. That's insane. I love that. I became a avid collector of cigars, and you go through that whole process. You have to do the humidor, you have to get the humidity right, the temperature right, and I live in Brazil, so natural humidity is closer to 100 than zero, and I ended up having to call out an expert to set it all up, and I was watching YouTube videos, and it was not going in my favor.
I've run some cigars in my day.
Oh yeah, and then if you just leave it outside in Brazil, it's obviously too humid, and then you go to other countries and they leave it out, and it just burns like a matchstick because it's so dry. It's process to go through.
You need to join a cigar club and let them store your cigars.
Do though.
You know,
Maybe
by
I'll
me,
make
they
one.
have a handful of cigar clubs, and they're pretty nice. Like there's some nicer ones within I don't know, within 20 miles of me, and they'll come. You can let them know the day that you want to, come up there. They'll send a car to come pick you up, bring you out there, have your table ready. You can tell, if you have cigars that you're keeping there, they'll have your cigars ready for you there. When you're done, they take you back home. So they make it like a nice kind of white glove experience.
That's just so your car doesn't smell like cigar from driving back. You pay for that. Bing, I had some questions from the retail audience from the Twitter. We'll just kind of rapid fire it, and nothing too crazy. The people, I think you pinged me, no pun intended, but you pinged me privately. But the people wanted to know your trading desk setup, your battle station. I think it's going to be an interesting tell.
Yeah, I trade on my tea table, drinking tea on my iPhone. And I just DM my TC desks what I want to do, and then they give me a quote, and I take it.
I think it's an insight to show that you don't need 75 screens to make money or lose money. Um, are you sitting and watching charts at all? Are you checking price 100 times a day? Run me through kind of how trade works.
I watch YouTube. I turn on 88 hertz frequency, which is the frequency of abundance. And once I'm tuned in and I feel like the time is right, yeah, that's when I place the trade.
Are you
I like
watching tick by tick at all? Are you watching, Coinbase just came out with a 4-hour chart. I don't know if you've seen this innovation from Coinbase.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even heard that before.
Coinbase, but yeah, wait till they learn there's like a 6 hour, an 8 hour, a 12, a 2. Wait till they learn about this new innovation. They're
Man. Well, Coinbase just bought Durbit, so I'm sure I'll experience those new innovations soon.
doing big things. Yeah, and the customer support is out of this world, Ping. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the new customer support.
Oh, I'm sure.
Are you checking price? Okay, let's say you're at the tea table, you place the trade, the OTC desk knows the toxic taker is here. You say don't know. The price is going up in your favor. Are you checking price every single second? Every hour? How does that look?
The reason I trade options is so I don't have to check price. I check the price like very rarely. So even my calls on Twitter, I actually don't know what the price is. And people are yelling at me that it's down. I'm just like, oh, so it's down. Okay. I'm just tweeting wonderful Wednesday, and the price is down, and everyone's like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm just like, oh.
They need some more patience, Ping.
every
Instant
day check
gratification.
price, bad price. I can't take this.
Yeah, they're so mad. I don't know why.
Anymore. I've talked about it a lot on Twitter that like the best thing I ever did for my mental health was stopping going on X every single like being on there for the whole day and like being on my screen all day, because it was like in I would say like from the 2017 era bull market until this last cycle starting, I was just online from the time I woke up until, like 3 in the morning. And as soon as I stopped doing that, everything else started coming together a bit better, being more particular about the trades I was taking, understanding that there's hundreds of opportunities every year and that you don't have to hop on every single one of them. You can do things when they're mostly convenient for you, that you don't always need to be first to still make money. Things
So a pretty funny story I want to share. I believe it was last year, 2024 in April, and I took an options trade with one of the desks that I just signed up with. This was actually my first options trade with them. It was a ETH put for 3,300 when ETH was like 3680. And I set a limit order for like 450 or 500. And I bought the puts for maybe sub 100, like 90. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Right? like, like, and literally 2 days later, I wasn't checking price, I was just chilling. And then 2 days later, I believe Israel attacked Iran. I think that's it. That's what happened. Or Iran attacked Israel. One of these two things happened. I get a ping on my Telegram. Your order's been filled. I'm like, what? It's only been 2 days. and then the CEO of that OTC desk, who's quite a big guy, came into the chat. He's like, holy shit, great trade. Like, how did you know? I'm like, don't know. Don't know.
Like that.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Compliance officer or whatever, like, not the compliance, the head of research or somebody's like that monitors trades for insiders came into the chat to see what I was doing after that.
Keeping an eye on your ping. Well, you did call the 1010. How? The people want to know how, ping. We know that
More
you
than
crashed the
that,
market. No, he crashed the market single-handedly. We know he liquidated everybody.
Hey, call it in my paid group first. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Angel numbers, 1010. And it's more astrology based. So I speak with my shaman, and she told me, yeah, this day the market will crash, but it'll be a good entry. So the reason I share my views on Twitter, I could just keep it to myself and like ignore the stress. Is like I'm just sharing the love. It's just like I gain nothing from sharing this. I don't really like. I'm not engaging in farming. If I'm wrong, people will hate me. So yeah, it is.
well, they're gonna hate you regardless. If you're wrong, they hate you for being wrong. If you're right, they hate you for not telling them early enough or not directly telling them.
What it is, but it's a sort of like meditation practice for me to absorb this hate and give back love. Um, so I just consider it practice.
Them.
I'm surprised you read the comments. I always tell people don't read the comments because people are absolutely insane on Twitter. It's either even if you're right, they still hate you, and if you're wrong, they hate you even more. There's never a mix. The reply guys on Twitter are insane, and then you look and they have like thousands and thousands of replies and just all day every day just talking shit on Twitter. That cannot be good for your soul for sure.
I
But
said in our chat the other day, like when
I'm surprised that he sits there and actually gives people the time of day and actually replies to people.
I said the other day when Denton brought up, he's like hey, some nerds trying to pick a fight with you, and I was like, if I respond, it's the most engagement they're gonna get all year, and it's just gonna continue on like bickering back and forth. So like, why waste any of my energy on that? It's not worth fighting with people over things that don't
Are you asking me or?
matter.
No, just in general. I'm surprised you read the comments and actually interact with people and give people the time of day because it's one thing to read it and then it's another thing to take all of the hate and give back pure love, right? That's a whole nother level CT hasn't even touched yet, Mr. Ping.
Yeah, so my philosophy is don't take life too seriously. I think the universe rewards playfulness, and everything's kind of like a joke to me. It's like even the markets, trading, people take it so seriously. And it's like, no, the world, the universe is meant to be playful, so you should be playful. And yeah, that's how I operate.
I like that. It kind of goes into, the most entertaining outcome is usually the outcome.
Yeah, I also trade angel numbers and meme numbers, and they work out pretty well.
I think people were curious on is it over in November or is it over in May, depending on which part of the world you're in and which way you read a calendar.
I'm out in November.
Cozy and you are alike. Cozy, you want to give your thesis? I think you said it on Eden a few times, but for
Yeah, I've
share.
I've been saying most of the year that it's not a price point that I'm looking for. There's no like set price. It's always been around November. I was looking to get out of the markets more so because historically we tend to run up the end of or into the fall around that time. And then even if there's an extension or we go a little bit longer, I never care to time the top. I'm happy being out in, the top 20% of a run and focusing on, the other things I have to do in life. One of those being, Kyan that we're launching, and then just I've got, kids. So why stress when you can be cozy? But
So Ping,
historically, yeah, November, October, end of October, November has always been kind of when we're in these type of cycles where things seem to taper off a bit.
out in November, what's after November? Do we have any more insights? Or do we just have to wait for you?
$6 estimates before November, and then don't know.
What do you think about there are some people who no longer believe in cycles. They are of the opinion that we've reached a kind of new, we'll say, level in the industry or the markets where with so much TradFi interest and these new kind of massive inflows that have taken place that cycles are over and we're a new type of TradFi market almost.
Don't know.
I would say don't know, but no, I think cycles are still here. Wait till the biggest blow up happens and all these like digital asset treasury companies get fucked, and we'll see a new cycle, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
We'll see some drawdown.
Yeah, I'm definitely not of the opinion that cycles are over, but I've been hearing that from a few people that I respect. Their thesis is that it's now just volatility. It's no more 4-year cycles. But I think that the humans are conditioned in a way to where I think of it as attention gravity, and uh, people will. You see it just with different sectors of the market, right? Like I've always talked about how there's these low liquidity sectors of the market that will attract a ton of liquidity or attract a lot of interest, bring outsized gains because of the lack of overall liquidity. And then once people are tired of that or the attention shifts to something else has more attention gravity and pulls them in, then people leave that and go to whatever the new thing is. And we've seen that over the years with, meme coins in the past, not even this current cycle, but many cycles previous, NFTs, and then this cycle or the past two, you've seen it kind of bounce around from memes, AI stuff, NFTs again, deep, all sorts of weird shit. But there is this kind of rubber banding or ping ponging effect that happens with attention. And I think with the larger pool of participants that are outside of full-time, crypto sphere, that their attention gravitates towards what we're doing once those outsized gains show that it's possible in the market, or once we've kind of reached a inflection point where it causes them to have to look again.
Not sure 4 year cycles. Well, we still have the halvings, right? We still have the supply crunch every 4 years in the Bitcoin code. But as crypto grows as a sector, and as we speed run perp dex metas in a weekend now, like we have to stop doing that shit. Like that's not positive for the space at all. You can see the outcome. You know, the next day I think it was like down 80%. All those Binance smart chain coins. Um, if we look at markets in general, markets swing, markets have good days, markets have bad days, but I think the overall trend is, let's call Bitcoin up, and then everything else kind of come and go. Like Ethereum still has competitors. Solana, probably still goes down every 2 days. Meme coins are. We couldn't even have a top 100 because you would have to set it up and move move everything every single day. Uh, I did see that somebody launched. It was Bitcoin ETH Sol or Bitcoin and ETH spot, with BlackRock shares, and then adding in crypto related companies. So they were making a basket with miners, crypto spot, uh, Galaxy, all kinds of crypto related companies into one basket. But we still haven't seen like a crypto top 50 or a crypto top 10. It's just not possible to rebalance every single day. I'm more interested to see TradFi pick up structured products with more complex options than these baskets, but it would be good to see and track and have the whole space grow. I think we're still early in the whole space, but cycles and attention span, at this rate, CT is going through a new meta every single day. I can't keep up. Does anybody think NFTs are coming back at all? Ever?
I saw a hype for a good price.
I don't think they ever will the way they did. I talked about this. We talked about this on one of the streams that we, like, you had this. It was like a Gen Art hype that took place, and it pulled a lot of kind of like cross between traditional world artists and digital artists into that kind of field. And you had funds, mainly it was like Suzu and Kyle, they then started Starry Night Capital, but you had them shoving, what, tens of millions of dollars into NFTs, which goes back to that thesis about, these low liquidity sectors that provide outsized returns. And then what happened is it harnessed all the attention gravity and everyone started piling into NFTs, which then caused, prices to go kind of bonkers. And I don't think we ever see something like that again with NFTs, but you're going to see individual and like small little collections here and there that are going to gain a lot of attention and get pushed up. But I don't think the whole NFT market ever does that again.
Not in that way. Not in that way. Ping, we used up a lot of your time. 40 minutes. You have anything else? Final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns for us?
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any more questions? I'm good for another 20.
Sure. U.S. market is opening up green.
Oh, that's good.
Crypto is red, of
Crypto.
course. Gold, green, of course. I know Dime and you went back and forth on the metals alpha, but gold seems to be making a new high every single day. If our precious coins could just do such a marvelous thing, crypto Twitter would be a better place.
What did you all go back and forth on about metals? What's your stance on the current rise of gold and interest in precious metals?
I own some gold. It's not really interesting.
Are you paper gold or
No, physical gold. I don't know enough to be interested.
or physical.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have in-laws who are, jewelers and bullion dealers, so they're always on me about gold. So I, make sure that I have some physical gold so I don't have to hear about it. But crypto is the only thing that really interests me because I love the volatility it brings. And I've talked about it with Marty before that like I never liked trading stocks really because I didn't like uh, when I first got into trading, it was trading crypto and I was used to the 24-hour markets, the volatility, the no days off kind of mentality. And going and looking at stocks where a market closes and weekends off, it just seemed like something that old men do. Like, I need the weekend off, so I don't want to trade. Oh, I need to go get dinner, so we're gonna close the markets. Like, I don't know. I like being able to log on at 2 a.m. and make a trade if I want to. But that's all changing.
Supposedly, I think you're going to have a really hard time pushing that agenda with the boomers still for 24-hour markets. In you might see it in you already have futures that trade 23 hours a day, Sunday to Friday, right? They just take like a 1 hour hiatus in the middle of the day at market close. Um, I think it's going to be a hard sell to get it 24 hours. Maybe some stocks, but people in New York need their break. They live in a concrete jungle. They need to regain some energy all day. Ping, you mentioned you didn't have any TradFi background. You jumped right into crypto, but are you trading anything else besides crypto? And I guess even in that, there's another question. Are you trading just Bitcoin and ETH, or are you trading altcoin options?
Yeah, I trade still options. Sometimes I structure, uh, I have desks structuring markets for certain things like SNX. Uh, I had hype options earlier this year. And yeah,
But the was I don't think people know there was a I think Flood came out and said that he had bought some call spreads, but there was some chatter going around in some chats about various parties acquiring different hype call spreads at the beginning of the year. I think it was like a 40-60 or a 30-60. I think they all cashed big.
hype options. Yeah, same.
But when you're looking at altcoin options, it's funny because a lot of the makers they just throw a dart and kind of pick it. Oh, this is 100 vol product. This is 200 vol. This is 500 vol. It's hard to create a vol surface on some of these different alts. So it's good to see a pickup in that you're getting synthetics hype, Sol. It would be great if it was more public. I think because a lot of these trades OTC they go under the rug as they should. But when I mean public, I mean traded on Deribit, traded on Bybit, traded on OKX, traded on Kyan, traded on Derive. Um, Altcoin options never really picked up with retail, which I find astonishing because it's literally the thing just goes 100% or goes to zero.
Yeah, it's like XRP options, right? If it's actually offered to retail, the spreads become insane. And yeah, it's just it's better that it's private for me, I think.
Oh, for sure. You have, I think Deribit had OKX. They even had Matic at one point. There was some talk to get AVAX options, but from everything that I've learned, it's more like a pay to play. Like they were paying to get listed, or there was some benefits to get listed. No, nobody actually wanted to trade Matic options, right? Nobody wants to really trade AVAX options. It's kind of these backdoor deals that are getting pushed and essentially pay to play, which is the going rate in this crypto land. The main thing people want to trade is Bitcoin, ETH. some wingy alts, and for some reason, retail loves perps. Retail hasn't gotten into crypto options, but they love TradFi options. And I'm trying to wonder how we can get more users over from that gambling mentality in TradFi, those zero DTE plays, to doing it in crypto. They seem like to not be interested at all compared to where in TradFi it's the name of the game. You know, that's the most notional volume is traded with options over any other product offering. Um, how do you see retail kind of? You think more retail are coming to gamble, more retail are coming to play perps, or we can finally see a pivot into some hyper gambling in options land?
Don't know.
Cozy, how do we get more users over to gambling, zero DTE, and crypto land from TradFi?
From TradFi?
Yeah, like TradFi zero DTE markets run the world, and in crypto land, nobody seems to care. Not a care in
I,
the world.
well, I think there's two main reasons for that. There are an abundance of perp dexes, and and people like the potential of big pot wins, right? Like it's like a lottery ticket. Whenever you see the multi-billion-dollar lottery tickets in the US, everyone, who doesn't normally gamble goes and buys a ticket. And I feel like that's what perps have done to a lot of crypto traders that um, usually wouldn't take those types of outsized risks. Not saying they're all going 100x, but seeing that they can get these potential outsized gains by adjusting the position a bit that they would have taken already by just being in spot and buying an asset. And now seeing, oh, well, if I go 10x or 20x and it moves in my direction, I'm going to make, uh, multitudes more. Perps became very attractive, and there weren't any options dexes that were very capital efficient prior to, we'll say, like this year. Um, so one thing is they're just being venues that offer capital efficient way to trade them, and the other being that there needs to be better, more clear kind of, we could say education, but really just like awareness of what the products are and how to use them, because options are confusing at a surface level when someone from retail comes over and they start listening to you talk about the Greeks or uh, butterflies and condors and things like that. So there needs to be an easy way for them to trade these things without or while understanding what they actually are. So I think that that really comes to us building in the option space to um, make things easy to understand, as well as provide these uh, liquid, capital efficient exchanges and venues for them to trade on.
I like it. I think it's a hard sell when perps are right there, red and green button. We can put on our degen play, get liquidated, on a $5 move. I think some of these exchange or Rollbit is 1,000x leverage, right? So to retail red and green up down is much easier than trying to put in even pricing an option, right?
I guess my I have a story for perps is I started trading perps in 2016, 2017 when I was in the master. Um, like in between the trades on OK Coin at the time. And the thing about perps is like it's like going to the casino where you play baccarat and you win a few hands in a row, like, and then that's when you get addicted, right? And then yeah, and then just keep playing. So that's how I view perps.
The
It's
thing about
hyper
perps
gambling.
is
It's
that,
hyper
yeah,
gambling for sure.
the thing about perps that a lot of people just found out over this past week is that you can win 45, 50 times in a row and you lose once the wrong way and you lose everything.
I just want to make it clear that I got liquidated on PAX G. just so we're clear. There was I was right. It's 4,200, but there was a wick to like 3,500. I think my liquidation was like 3,600, and it's like stuff like that can't happen, especially around precious metal, tokenized precious metals and things like that. Like that's absolutely insane. I thought, the market was maturing, but that put a step backwards in my mind. I'll never trade PAX G perps again, or any other perp around a precious metal. I'll go trade futures in TradFi. And I know oil went negative, and at any moment, sure, you can have that margin call, but you don't just get liquidated right now. You have a little bit of time to post margin. You can move it from your whatever savings or money market or whatever over and save yourself if futures are going to absolutely zero. So everything's a learning curve. I've been in this market for 10 years and still learning new stuff every day, but that's it for me. No more PAX G perps ever again in my
Yeah, I feel like perks are temptation. It's so tempting, right? So that's why people do it. Options are intention, perks are temptation. That's how I see it.
life.
It's a good way to look at it.
I love it. I know we're coming up on the hour. One final question, and we can wrap it up. You don't have to spill the tea if you don't want to, but how do you size your positions?
Round number theory. This is the one I actually wanted to talk about. I always bet less as I go down the risk curve. So the more of the money off the option is, the less you bet. I think sizing is where traders all fuck up. Like this last Friday where people got liquidated for everything. Like I think there's one guy who lost everything that was like pretty big. 9 figs. Yeah, so always bet less as you go down the risk curve. That's my motto. And also, yeah.
But let's say you're going less and less. Are we doing 1, 2, 3? Are we doing round numbers? We're doing 6,000. Kind of run me through that. How do you pick the exact size? Scaling into something, or
I mean, you always want round numbers of contracts, right? So it's easy to calculate when you win or when you lose. Right, so it's like 10,000 contracts of an ETH call. So let's say you make, I don't know, $100 of the 10,000 contracts, you make $1 million, right? Or like 100,000 contracts on a SOL call, or 1,000 contracts on a BTC call. Like, that's how I size it.
or you're just firing? Love it. You have any final alpha, any extra love to share as we wrap it up?
Yeah, I would say trade with intention, trade with a purpose. Don't just trade to trade. And always know that certainty is where you get trapped. Don't know.
I like that. Certainty
You heard it
is
here
where you get
first.
trapped.
Don't
You
know.
Ping, it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again very soon.
Likewise, good talking to you, and appreciate the calls, Marty. Keep them coming.
I'll let you know when the next quant call is. The latest was fuck this coin. Ping the OTC desk, loaded up the calls, and I think you cash, right?
Yeah.
Big win.
That was actually pretty funny. I tweeted that, and then I bought it. So.
I'll keep the calls coming. Ping, thanks. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch you next time. See if we can get you on again. This is recording on. I don't even think we said. Maybe you said it this at the beginning, Cozy. But this is Wonderful Wednesday. It's late Asia time, early America time. heroes are having lunch. They're probably done for the day, having a coffee already. We'll try to get this out today.